Much better way to do it. Absolutely right. Great job. Making me a better math teacher. Now, so scratch this. And really, you're kind of scratching this too. So here, now you want to use the trick. Bottom right times top left, so that's 3. Bring the plus sign down, cosine squared times in brackets 4 cosine squared of x minus 7 all over cosine squared of x, and that equals 0. So I've said this ad nauseum now, which means a lot, that when you have a fraction equal to 0, you don't care about the bottom, you only care about making the top equal to 0. Remember, the bottom part, you only care about it if you want to check the domain restriction, which you always should at the end. But again, when you're solving, you only want the top equal to 0. You never want the bottom of a fraction equal to 0. So I'm just going to focus on the top now. And the top says, well, 3 plus, let's distribute this, cosine squared times 4 cosine squared is 4 cosine to the 4th minus cosine squared times 7 is minus 7 cosine squared of x equals 0. We're going to rewrite this. Again, if you don't need to do this, that's fine, but I think it is helpful to rewrite in the following way. And now this is basically a quadratic. This is just a quadratic if you make the following substitution. We've seen equations like this since last semester. Let u equal cosine squared of x. So this will be 4u squared minus 7u plus 3 equals 0. And if the algebra is problematic, please ask. I'm just assuming people are good with it because no one's asking anything. You know what I mean? Okay, let's come back over here. Because you had plus cosine squared, distributing that over here to the negative 7. Does that work? Jenny? One more time? It's right here. Okay, because are you more familiar solving quadratics that look like this with like the highest degree, then the middle ones, and the lowest degree? That's why I'm with you. That's why I'm with you. Because now, like, for those who do this, like, it's a little bit like more obvious, right? 12 minus 7, so you need two things to multiply to 12, add to negative 7. You got negative 4, negative 3. Then the box, you guys have done this infinite times almost, it seems like. So what do we have here? 4u, u, minus 1, minus 3. Again, if this is, I'm doing the algebra quickly because I assume that the box is a comfortable thing. Again, if the box is not comfortable, you can ask. So, we've got 4u minus 3 times u minus 1 equals 0. And from precisely, you're going to split this and set each piece equal to 0. So we've got 4u minus 3 equals 0. We've got u minus 1 equals 0. Solve each piece. Again, if you need to verify, look up here, but there are many of you all who can do this without a problem. And then, because it's going from negative infinity to infinity, we need to add the 2 pi k onto each answer. One Cabrera. Okay. Because what's the square root of 4? That's it. Question. So this is the kind of thing I would expect to see like next Friday on the free response. Yes. Okay, I'm in. Hold on 1 second. So you're here, okay? So I may use this middle term so that this would become u squared. Because if I do cosine squared, I'll get the cosine to the 4th. Which is why it's nice, because then I can do this whole quadratic thing. Know what I mean? Mm-hmm. How did I get rid of that, right? Because fraction, when you want a fraction to equal 0, you only care about the numerator equal to 0. You don't care about the denominator equal to 0. So I just focus on the numerator. We didn't even like use it at all, right? I mean, like I just basically said, forget the denominator, because the only way this fraction will equal 0 is if this top part equals 0. We don't really care what the bottom is, right? 0 divided by 20, 0. 0 divided by 1/2, 0. 0 divided by negative a million, still 0. As long as the top is 0, in good shape. Okay, question. Again, expect something like this next Friday, closed notes, free response problem. Expect something this intricate. Doesn't it? Okay. The only way that we can make this a little bit more interesting is if we had put a cosine of 3x here instead of cosine of x. I'm not saying that's going to come up. I'm just saying that's the only way to make this a little bit more complicated and to add another skill. Okay. Robert.
Whenever that does happen, then you need to multiply the x value that you get times 3. Because if
you would divide.
But it means to divide, so in order to get the x, then you have to multiply.
No. If you had cosine of 3x, that's saying divide all the x values by 3, because for x's you do the opposite of what it says.
Final x you want to divide?
Yes. Because you say let u equal 3x, so you'll say u equals pi over 6, so 3x equals pi over 6, so x equals pi over 18.
That's good to base.
Questions? Okay, so we have 30 minutes, silent, independent work time. I'm going to come around and grab the journals and issue demerits. Do you have a question? Yeah, of course. So, working independently, silently. If you have a question, you can ask me. I'm happy to answer that. 30 minutes, till the end of class. Yes. Someone just call my name. Yes. Should I come there and say individually? Or would you prefer to? Well, I'll come in 1 second. Let me pick up the journals here. Who did? You didn't do it? You didn't do it? Or do you ever do my part? Okay. Do you need my phone to call? No. You don't?